Welcome back to the garage, the place where we are making your Bronco your dream Bronco. Now, if this is your first time here, I'd love to have you subscribe. I'm putting out how-to videos for the weekend mechanic and providing some Bronco entertainment for the Bronco community. Today, what we're working on is putting the C4 transmission back in my Bronco. If you saw the video where I took it out, I pulled my transmission out of my Bronco, just the C4 automatic three-speed transmission. I pulled it out and had it rebuilt just because it was leaking all over the garage floor. It was like, every time I would drive it, I'd have to put a quart of transmission fluid in there. So I was like, okay, it's time to get rebuilt, and I wanted to spend some time working on my new Bronco and get this out of the garage. So I just sent it off to a shop. It's back, it's rebuilt, and now I'm about to put it back under the Bronco. Now first, before I put the transmission back in, I am going to clean my transmission cooler lines. These are the two lines that run from the radiator to the transmission and keep the transmission cool. Definitely use this stuff. It attaches to the transmission line, and you want to flush it out and then spray it clean with some air before you put your transmission back in. You definitely don't want any crap from your old transmission running through the cooler lines. So now with the transfer case back on the adapter plate on the transmission, now it's time to put the cross member back on. Now I took off the old rusty bushings, nasty bushings from the cross member and got some new ones from Tom's Bronco Parts. These are great. And how these go together, it comes with a little metal sleeve that goes in between the two, and then the cross member just fits in there like so, and you get the big old washer on the top and bottom, kind of sandwich it together, and then the bolt goes through the middle. One of the other bushings that comes with the kit is this bushing, which pushes up against your Dana 20. This kit is awesome. I'll put a link in the description below. You should definitely get this if you are doing anything where you're taking this cross member out. So basically what I've been doing is pulling my transmission up from the transfer case shifter bolt, which is right here, and then I've been going up through the hole for the T-case shifter to my cherry picker that's just in the cab. It's been working pretty good. It lifts the back up a little bit more than the front, so I've been using my just floor jack to jack the front up. So we'll see what happens when it gets a little bit higher, if that'll keep working. But for now, I'm gonna put some of this stuff back together. I'm gonna, get my neutral safety switch in position and just get some of the stuff connected. So this is the current situation. I've got the cherry picker holding the transmission up through the floor, and the transmission is pretty much up. Now, you can't really see from this angle, but it's going to take some finagling to get the cross member in place. And if you look, this is my dipstick tube over here, and it's supposed to be over here, so definitely have to work on getting all this situated, and there's probably going to be a good amount of up and down to this to actually get it in the right spot. But pretty pleased with the cherry picker route, the engine hoist for the win, and got my floor jack just kind of picking up the front end. But at this point, the floor jack isn't even holding the transmission up. The transmission is only being held up right now by the engine hoist, and it's working pretty good. So, working on the transmission, and these guys showed up. This is Matt and Craig. Huge help. We just got it in. I didn't film any of it, and I apologize because, well, we were working and I didn't stop. And so, but these guys, I mean, we did full on ratchet straps under there and pulled it, sucked it in, made sure to keep everything straight. And now putting pieces back together. Craig, Matt, appreciate it. Another thing that kind of happened was my transmission cooler lines got damaged. I got these, they are, you know, they fit into the radiator, and this is where the transmission cooler line was. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the rubber hose on this and run it down to the transmission. And I just got 4 of these. I'll put a link in the description below where you can get them. But they fit, they're like double threaded, so you can plug one end into the radiator, the other end in the transmission, and then I'm just going to run rubber hose and just try to keep it away from my headers. Putting in some automatic Type F transmission fluid. When you first do this, you can fill up the torque converter before you put it in. What I'm doing, I didn't do that, so what I'm doing is I'm actually putting 4 quarts of transmission fluid in before I start it, before I do anything. And then what I'll do is once I start up the engine, I'll put 2 more quarts in with the engine running. I'll go through the gears and put in another 2 quarts after it's all heated up and everything's all warmed up. But the first step is put 4 quarts in, let it sit. I'm gonna let it sit overnight, come back in the morning, check it for leaks, and make sure it's just kind of all settled in there and that we're looking good. And then I'll fire it up tomorrow. All right, so I got out this morning. I didn't have any leaks under the Bronco, which is a good sign. It means that the forecourts that I put in there, staying in there. Moment of truth, I haven't fired up the Bronco in a couple months, so I'm nervous. I don't know if you guys feel this way, but every time I do something big and then start up the Bronco, it's like this, like, just nervousness of like, I'm sure that I forgot something, and like, you know, I'm just gonna completely destroy the engine. Let's hope that doesn't happen today. Everything seems to be okay. I've got something that dripped on my headers that's smoking, but other than that, we're looking good. All right, it's looking pretty good. It you know, makes weird noises, and it's probably more one of those things that I'm just not used to the noises because I haven't driven it in a while, and so every noise I'm like, did something just fall off? That's gonna be it. Thank you guys so much for watching. See you next time. That's it. I was gonna say something else, but see you next time.